check one. Taking off like a missile. Yeah, I'm validated, but it ain't by no people. Ain't no number two. What it look like a pencil. God drew the plan, then gave me the stencil. Slide, you know I run with the pride. All of my homies some lines, all of them listen to God. Never gonna be my demise, even with pressure applied, even with concrete on my name, yeah I'm permanent. Set the record straight, put it permanent. If the bridge built on lies, yeah I'm burning it. If you at peace with your captain, I'm disturbing it. Yeah, concrete on my name, yeah I'm permanent. Okay, concrete on my
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Cornerstone Christian Academy, getting set for games 3 and 4 of our doubleheader today. We've got junior, JV and varsity basketball coming up here, getting set to tip off in about 4 minutes. Game number 1, our JV for their home opener of the season, followed by the varsity squad. That will be tipping off here in about an hour and a half. Welcome, thanks for joining us. I'm Dan Kinzinger, joining in here periodically throughout the afternoon, Mr. Dave Wolf, as he will be handling all the House PA. You'll hear all the starting lineups, all the national anthem, and all that is all in between as well. The JV basketball team coming into today 2-2 on the season and are looking to improve their record down to 500 or above 500 and pick up a win here against St. Anne out of the Kankakee area. JV falling last night at Hayworth. They were 2-1. They went 2-1 in their JV tournament the Friday after Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving. And are now 2-2 on the young season. Thanks for joining us once again. We'll have all of the home games for you coming up throughout the season and then into postseason play and anything else that we think that we want to do. And I'll be excited to see here how our JV squad comes out. Saturdays are always kind of the wild card when it comes to athletics. It's unfortunate. Nobody wants to play on a Saturday afternoon, especially not a Saturday morning. You never quite know what you're going to get after a Friday night. The boys, being able to stay up a little bit later, and same with, girls as well. It's just kind of one of those odd days for a basketball game. But because of the distance that St. Anne has to travel, it's nice to be able to squeeze an extra game in here and get that first home opener out of the way. Cyclones once again 2-2 on the season. And we'll get to see how these boys line up here in about a minute and a half. Hey, where'd your dad go? Come back up. No, we're not doing anything before JV said just varsity. Do you still have those JV roster?
JV's there.
JV's here, okay. You grabbed high school, though? Great, cool. All right, so we are getting set to get underway here. Here is a volume knob for you right here, in case you want some more. Let me turn you up. That would be handy. There you go. Now you should be able to hear yourself.
We're online.
All right, so the starting five for the JV squad that's out there. Number 5, Caleb Blade. Number 10, Kobe White. Number 21, Josh Kalmus. Number 33, Will Toma. And number 24, Eli Clinton. So we also have a crowd mic. That's what that guy is.
Oh, nice.
So that's what you hear there.
Oh, that's beautiful, Danny Kinzinger. And you got this thing hopping, rocking and rolling.
Tip goes to Cornerstone, and a quick outlet pass by Toma trying to hit Clinton. That one goes out of bounds, so it'll be a turnover to St. Anne.
JV last night had a good first half, I heard, and then second half
kind of fell apart. Yep.
Yeah.
St. Anne swings it to the outside. Man defense for the Cyclones. Ball fake now down low. Baseline Toma guarding. White on jumper by St. Anne. That one off the mark, and White with the rebound. 23 is going to get called for his first foul. So have you seen, Dave, the JV?
I have not seen JV yet play this year. No, I have not. They played in the Thanksgiving Day tournament at Peoria Heights. And
day after Thanksgiving, right?
Yes, and I was not there for that. I was there for all the varsity matches, but...
Well, the offense here led by Caleb Blade at the top of the key now. Slowing things up, looking for some help. Inside pass to Kalmus. He's in the lane, 5-foot jumper. That one off the glass, no good. Ball down on the ground, scramble for it here. St. Anne comes away. Man defense all the way up the court. Nice eyes by Caleb Blade. He's got an open court ahead of it. Takes it in. One-hand layup. He misses it. Rebound White. Turns around, and Kobe White. Nice putback.
Caleb Blade's a nice little athlete.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's got good hops. He's got, ball control was always an issue in years past, but it looks like he's getting that under control.
Yeah, I think experience, playing more will help him.
30-second timeout called by St. Anne, and I think the defense of Cornerstone caught the eye of St. Anne, and so they're going to make some adjustments here. So Cyclones lead 2-0 here early in the first quarter. Again, looking to move their record to 3-2 overall on a Saturday afternoon. Dave, I was just saying before you hopped on here, I hate Saturday games. You never know what you're going to get from boys or girls on Saturdays.
Yeah, because they usually sleep until about 11, 12 a.m.
Or stay up. Yeah, exactly. You don't know.
Yes. Although I don't like it. I like it in terms of at least we'll get to bed early tonight.
Right. Exactly.
10 o'clock.
Exactly.
And I always enjoy our food conversation.
Oh, we'll have some here.
We'll have food conversation.
I had mushroom and Swiss for lunch.
Did you really?
I did.
With MSG?
No, I didn't have it at my house, or else I would have had MSG on it.
Okay.
MSG's fantastic.
It is.
St. Anne baseline, and they're going to say he traveled, took a step before he put that ball down. So second turnover of the night for St. Anne. Gives the ball back to the Cyclones. Lade brings it across the timeline. Cyclones set up in their offense. Kalmus rotates around. Clinton with it now. Kalmus down on the baseline. Back to Clinton. Over to Kobe White. White, three-pointer on the way. That one just off the back iron. Rebound St. Anne. Still 2-0. 5:23 here in the first quarter as St. Anne pushes it now. Far side out on the wing. Spinning around. Tries to find number 10. He wasn't ready for it. Now penetration in the lane. Kick out 52 three-pointer. That one off the front iron. And Cyclones tried to get it. Not able to. Should have been a travel. Number 11 can't roll with it, but no call. Now down on the baseline. 2, ball fake, left hand, 6-foot jumper up in the air. No good. Rebound Toma.
Hey, Will Toma's a nice little player.
He
hasn't
is.
played in the past.
I don't know if you've seen Ben yet or not, but Ben is fantastic as well, his brother.
8th grader.
Yep.
Yeah, they lost a tough one today to Metcalf. I think they lost by 2 or 3.
They did. It was actually 5. Lost by 5.
Okay.
Shot up. That should be a 2-pointer on the line. Rebound late. 4:33 remaining in first quarter. Lade pushes it up over the timeline now, far side. Ball goes up. That's a three-pointer by Josh Kalmus. His first of the afternoon, now making it 5-0 Cyclones. Man defense here, swings it to the far side on the wing, looking back to the top. 52 now with it, under pressure from Tona. Ball fake, dribbles to his left, almost stolen by White. Three-pointer, that one off the front iron, rebound Cyclones. Got to be careful with that there. Pushing it up into Kalmus, hand back off to Lade. Takes up, little bunny hopper from the box, little floater.
Later.
Put it in, 7-0. Cyclones lead. Defense now by Lade. The lazy pass, and they're going to get Kobe White for the body there. As number 1 tried to bring it back up top, and White was just in the way. JV team coached, head coached by Mr. Chad Witt.
Witt's Mitts.
Witt's Mitts. They'll be sponsoring something here soon.
Yes.
St. Anne out kicks it. Now ball fake, right-hand dribble, now into the paint, up top of the key. 2 with it, now swings it over. 24 hard into the lane, off the top of the glass, rolls around, still doesn't fall.
Down.
It hit everything but the bottom of the net. Eli Clinton up there. Little 5-foot jumper, that one up and good. And it's 9-0 Cyclones here. St. Anne brings it across. They're the Cardinals, by the way. St. Anne Cardinals.
Okay.
Into the lane, little floater off the front iron, rebound Lade. He's double teamed, trying to get it out of there. Hands off to White, stolen. Nope, they're going to get it back. So good hustle by the Cyclones. And timeout by Coach Witt. With 2:49 remaining here in quarter number 1, Cyclones lead 9-0. This ought to be a fairly fast-moving game, I'm thinking.
St. Anne, a couple years ago, we played in the regionals. They had a really nice team back then. It'll be interesting to see what the varsity's like this year.
Well, from what I was talking to Coach Shippert about here earlier today, we were here, we did the junior high games as well this morning.
Okay.
And he said that St. Anne went up against Moments, who's always got a strong team and only lost by 3 last night.
Okay. All right. Well, and these are the kind of games we need anyhow. I mean, we need to have tough games.
Yep.
I mean, that only makes you better for the end of the season.
Yep.
So I'm okay with that.
Lade picks up his dribble into Kalmus now at the free throw line, kicks it back out. White, three-pointer on the way. That one off the side of the rim. In there, fighting for it is
Ian O'Connor.
That is Ian O'Connor. Checked in at the timeout there. Lade, stolen. Gets it and is going to ring it back out and start that offense one more time. Lade ball fake, right-hand side, takes it in by himself, forces one up.
Yeah, he had Ian wide open on the dish.
He did. All he had to do was dish it off.
I don't know about you and all your experience with coaching over the years. It seems to me, though, like guys are shooting way too much from the three-point line these days.
I think it's all the, college influence,
Yes.
the NCAA influence,
Yes.
when half of the points are scored from the three-point line.
Yes. You don't see as much of the drive, the dish,
I look around, you see Eli Clinton, you got a Josh Kalmus, you've got an Ian O'Connor, all of which are 6'2", 6'3" guys.
Yeah.
Let them eat.
Yes.
Feed them.
Yep. Ian was wide open on the block. Nice little bounce pass dish there. That's easy, too.
Caleb Lade, his first free throw was good. Second one on the way. That one's good, and it's 11-0. Here with 2:19 remaining in quarter number 1. Cyclones lead. White slaps the floor. Gets a pick on him, and that one's turned over. Kalmus with it on the breakaway. Takes it up a little bit out of control. The ball's loose. Rebound back to St. Anne. An opportunity here, and Kalmus is wincing.
Yep. Pulled up a little lame there on that one.
Yeah, he did not. He's down holding his lower thigh. Yep, he's going to come off. And Joey Balonis is going to check into the ball game here.
Looks like he stepped a little funny on that, or landed funny.
Well, or when he took off, because that ball kind of left his hand a little crazy. Laid in there, kicks it out to White. Kobe White, three-pointer on the way. That one off the iron. Tipped around, heading out of bounds, though. Rebound, St. Anne's. They're going to push it up. Lade picks him up at half court. Fire underneath. 24 turns around, tries for their first points, and Balonis with the rebound on the miss. Kobe White, ball left-handed, loses it. And St. Anne is going to push it here against Lade. Lade with the body. Good no call. You know, officials don't do that very often, let those go.
Yeah.
But that was very close to a charge, but it was also very close to a foul on Caleb as well.
Yes. Yeah, last night's game, there were a lot of interesting calls in the varsity match against Hayworth.
That's what I heard.
But it's always nice to come out beating an HOI team.
Yes, indeed.
Hayworth is usually pretty, I think they'll finish middle of the pack for Heart of Illinois Conference this year, so it's good to go play them.
I think we've got El Paso on the schedule, Lexington as well, so...
Yep. We have a Class 4 team coming, Equal Valley.
I know. That's going to be an interesting one. O'Connor hands it off to Balonis now. 15-foot jumper. That one off the mark. Rebound, O'Connor. Back with it. Kicks it back out to Lade. Get it right back into him.
Yep.
Let him go to work.
Yep.
Top of the key. Kobe White splits the defenders, loses control. A little bit out of control there.
Yeah. And that's one where, like, Ian needs to know where he's at and just, pivot on that foot and just go right back up with it.
Well, if you look at their defense, agreed, and you pass that ball right back into Ian, he's going to get double teamed. That's going to leave Balonis on the opposite side wide open.
Yep. And that's what a lot of these young players don't realize is you get that ball inside in the paint and the defense collapses, and then it opens up spot shooters from the outside. It opens up your jump shot game.
Well, the one thing you always got to think about, and it's the easiest thing in the world, is when there's two guys on you, there's an open person somewhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely, right on.
Checking into the game as well, Aaron Webb. He's got the ball now on the far side. Caleb Lade takes it out. He's going to slow things back up. 11-0, 30 seconds remaining here in quarter number one. Clinton on the far wing. Nice rotation here by the Cyclones. I like their offensive movement. Clinton now down to Lade. Lade ball fake, dribbles with his right into the paint, kicks it back out. Clinton all the way across court to Balonis now on the baseline. Up top, Caleb Lade, three-pointer on the way. That one rolls around and rebounds St. Anne.
Another one halfway down.
Yep.
Nice defense.
Lade, nice steal, but he did have a toe on the line right there.
Good anticipation, though.
6 seconds remaining here. St. Anne, I don't know if they recognize it. 4 seconds. 3, 2. They're going to heave one up, and it's going to go off the glass. And that's how quarter one ends, 11-0. Cyclones up on St. Anne. And, it's the one thing I saw with the JV team right there is that they are very disciplined in their offense. They're running their offense, but you can't be afraid to let the ball go down low to these big guys and let the bigs go to work.
Yes.
I mean, just like you said, I think so much college influence has taken the minds of some of these guards where, we're not. I just have some facts here I'm going to talk about for the varsity team. Varsity is shooting 39.6% from three-point range, which is an average, an average for them. JV, on the other hand, is shooting downward around 17%.
Yep. Well,
so,
and you're not developing your whole game. That's what I think is lacking in a lot of basketball today. And just, I do a lot of coaching. You've done a lot of coaching, guys, footwork, skill work.
Yep.
Just all that. It's
missing. It's lacking.
Missing. So, and if teams can do that, and I know at Cornerstone here they preach discipline, so hopefully that continues to grow and develop. But, like you said, the influence of the NBA and college ball is...
Everybody wants to dunk and shoot threes.
Yep.
Ball goes out of bounds, tipped out by Eli Clinton. It's going to stay with St. Anne. Out on the far side. Cyclones still in man. You're going to see that predominantly this year.
Yes.
Very rarely will they drop into a zone, maybe just to throw off the other team. Otherwise, they're going to be man-to-man.
Yeah.
Laid up now on the guard. Kicked it to the near side. Balonis out on them. Back up top. Guarded by Toma. Toma's a big body as well. Good defense there by Will. Far side, Clinton. Ball fake, 21 tries to penetrate, and they're going to get him for a travel. Must have happened. I didn't quite see the feet move like that, but the official did. 6:29 remaining, 11-0. That's the score. Lade brings it across the timeline, brings it back to the right, and hits White. White lobs it in to Clinton. Clinton triple teamed, trying to get it back out to Lade, and does. Lade now picked up his dribble, double teamed, and Kobe White says, let's slow it back down, reset the offense. Clinton just took his eyes off the ball. I think he was thinking he was going to flash inside real quick.
Yep. Yeah, just the basic fundamental of catching the ball, jump stopping, getting your balance. I know last year with coaching the girls and Coach Bronke and I worked, and we spent so much time on your balance.
Yep.
Jump stopping and balance is such a big part of the sport of basketball that we just like that.
Well, and you would know, I mean, being a big post man,
yep.
Trying to, take a one dribble drop step and then look up and know where you're at. You've got to have good body control.
You have to. Just court sense and knowing and good sportsmanship by Kobe.
Yep, that's one of the things that it's another lost thing that has gone the way of the dodo is the other team helping the other team up when one's down.
Yes.
All right, Cyclones just kind of sitting back here. Ball comes in, down baseline, three-pointer on the way for St. Anne's, and their first point of the game come on a three from the baseline, actually below the rim. It was a good shot. Lade now top of the key. Kobe White, left-hand dribble up and in. Nice move. 13-3. 5:18 remaining in quarter number 2. Ball on the near side for St. Anne. Swung back up now, top of the key. Surveying the floor here. Dribbles to his right. Double team, kicks it back out top. Number 24 is the only one who's scored for St. Anne thus far. Number 3, left-hand dribble, kicks it back out. Now resetting at the top. A very slow-moving offense for St. Anne.
Yes.
And there's not a whole lot of movement to it.
No. Yeah, it's definitely not a motion offense.
No, it's not.
More stationary.
It's like they've got deliberate plays.
Yeah.
Kobe White, turn around, that's long, and it's going to get tipped out of bounds, and they're going to say it's going to stay with the Cyclones, I believe. Yes, it will.
Yeah. See, in a situation like that, Kobe had the lane wide open. He didn't need to pass that and dish that off. He had it right there. Take it right to the basket.
Timeout called by the St. Anne coach, and it's, if the Cyclones were scoring at a decent clip, this would be a very fast-moving game.
Yes.
But the Cyclones still young, still learning how to develop some of those the inside post maneuvers, and where I have yet to see anybody attempt a mid-range shot.
Yes. Yeah, I think we have a couple juniors on our roster, don't we? I think Will Thoma's a junior.
Yeah, we've actually got
Josh Kalmus is a junior.
Kobe White's a junior, Josh Kalmus, and Will Thoma. Yep.
Yeah, so we have a wide variety of age.
Out, number 21, Josh Kalmus tries a three. Rebound, St. Anne. Fought for. And number 12 is in there. That is Evan Klein. Evan's going to get called for the personal. And that'll be the third team foul. Shouldn't matter here with 4:14 remaining in quarter number 2. St. Anne out to the near side. Guarded by Klein. Top of the key, number 21, Josh Kalmus on 23. Ball fake and drives to his right. Now hands off, bad pass. Clinton gets dribbled right around. The ball gets loose and is going to go out of bounds, and it will be Cyclone ball. And number 23, or 21, number 21 for St. Anne, just trying to create something, make something happen. And he reaches in there. That one sounded like it popped a knuckle. Kobe White back with it. Top of the key.
Hands off. I want to ask Kobe where the hands were on defense there. I still have yet to see a basketball go through someone invisibly.
Right?
It's like, hands are down, Kobe. That's a chest pass.
Inbounds now White, top of the key. Just slow moving here offense, and I think the Cyclones are content to do that. Clinton, ball fake to the left, dribble into the paint now, throws one up and is going to get, they're going to call a charge on Clinton, I believe.
They called traveling, I believe.
Traveling?
Yes.
All right.
I don't think that was a travel.
I think it would have been anything but a travel.
Yes.
It would have been a charge or a block.
Yes. An ill-advised shot. But
yeah, right. Yeah, at least he was taking it in, but
yes.
That's the other art form that's gone too is, driving in against somebody.
Yes.
Being able just to control your body when you're flying in there.
Jump stop, take that little short jumper in the lane.
Nice little move by 23 from St. Anne. Drop step and a fadeaway jumper. That goes for a miss in the lane. Caleb Lade, one-handed up and in. Nice drive by Caleb Lade.
Yes.
15-3, 2:55 remaining. Here in quarter number 2. Drop pass, stolen by Clinton. He's got daylight ahead of him. All the way down the court. 2 steps, right hand. Misses the layup. Lade right back with it. Is going to get fouled. He's going to go to the line for 2. So, Clinton's going to be slamming his head against the wall on that one.
Yes. Well, it's hard because he's still recovering from that nasty leg injury he got in soccer last spring.
What happened? I did not know
He
that.
broke his leg.
Did he really?
Both bones in his lower leg. And so
Sheesh.
he's still recovering from that. Yeah, he was playing a travel team soccer match and collided with a guy in both legs, and it was pretty devastating. So
It would have been his right leg?
yes, I believe it was the right one.
Second free throw miss, 16-3. This should have been a jump ball. Not going to call it. St. Anne comes out with it. Quickly ahead, number 2 with it. Rolls it back into the middle. Ball's on the ground and kicked out. Nice hustle there by the Cyclones. Kalmus hands back off to Lade. Now far side Clinton with it. Three-pointer on the way. That one a little bit long. Rebound.
Oh, shoot that.
Yep. I don't know why Aaron Webb just handed that off.
Yes, Aaron, shoot it. Put it right up. Appreciate the unselfishness, but
right,
shoot it.
Get rid of that thing.
You're right there.
Lade looking in and bounds it. Does to Clinton. Another three-pointer on the way. That one just off the mark, and it's going to hit the Velcro, vinyl, whatever you want to call it, the safety harness up top, and so they're going to call that dead and hand the ball to St. Anne.
Look good from the release.
Yeah, another one though where we are not shooting well from beyond the three-point line.
No.
Ball goes inbounds. Number 23 with it. Fadeaway blocked partially by Kalmus and laid quickly ahead. Clinton, lob inside to Toma. Nice save.
Yeah.
Kicked it back out, and Toma loses it, trying to hit Clinton. But a great save by Kobe White.
Yeah.
16-3, a minute 46 remaining. St. Anne only with 3 points thus far in the first half. Ball inside now, number 21 looking for something to go with it. Kicks it back outside. And that one's stolen by Lade. Lade's going to take this all the way by himself, right hand. That one off. That's 3 layups that the Cyclones have missed today. They've got a cherry picker all the way down. Shot goes up and in. And number 23 with his first 2 make it 16-5.
That's where I felt like Caleb. I felt Caleb got fouled on that one there.
He did.
But even in that, he's got to know how to power up to the basket.
Yep.
You know, in high school, you're just not going to get all those calls.
No, but you've got to be strong enough to,
yes,
even feel that guy behind you, but just shake it off.
Yes.
Don't even worry about it.
That's right.
Shot goes up and in for St. Anne. And quickly here, they're jumping back into the game, pulling back within 9. And with an opportunity to cut it to 8 here with a minute 5 remaining in quarter number 2. First free throw is up, and that's good. So it's a 3-point play for St. Anne. Some substitutions into the game, and we're going to get a timeout here by Coach Witt. He's going to talk things over just a little bit. I've got a halftime graphic as well.
Dan
kinda fun.
Kinzinger, you're amazing.
It's fun.
You don't have to hold a microphone anymore. We got headsets.
We got enough
everything.
nonsense up here to.
We can have our own little party.
It's like a rat's nest. It's horrible.
Hopefully we don't get struck by lightning.
Right? Hopefully we don't have any health or safety OSHA to come up here. Wires draped everywhere. We got 3 computers, 1, 2, 3 audio boards.
Yes. Hey, we're getting high tech here at CCA.
I guess, or I don't know, just trying to entertain ourselves, I guess.
If your brother was here, he'd be shaking his head at us.
He would. Well, he'd be probably jumping in online somewhere, talking over us, just showing that he can. Caleb Blade with it on the top, hands it off to White. White inside feeds
Nice
Clinton,
move.
turns around. That one's a miss. Sorry, that was Kalmus. Rebound by Toma. Back to Kalmus again, puts it up and in. There's the bigs inside doing some grunt work.
Yes, sir. Nice play by Josh Kalmus.
18-8. Double team now. Kicks it out. Number 1, three-pointer. That one's short. Rebound Toma. Hands it off to Lade. And now Lade's going to bring it up. Slow things up. Hands it off to Kobe White. Finds inside to Kalmus. Turns around. Finds Toma. Toma up and in.
Nice play by Will Toma.
And that's exactly what Chad Witt told him in that timeout. Guys, we've got to work down low. We've totally got them outsized. There's no reason why you can't feed the big man here.
Yes. And Will made a nice catch, pivoted, faced the basket, and finished it.
He sure did.
Nice move by the big guy.
So we've got a nice little, I like this guard combo of Lade and White. Lade with it on the left-hand side. Nice pick by Toma. He takes it in, left hand all the way,
Right
misses
up, Will.
it. Kicks it back out. Kalmus, 15-footer. That one does not fall. And that's how we're going to go to the half. 20-8. The Cyclones with a 12-point lead over St. Anne's. And it should be much, much more than that. A lot of missed layups in there. But regardless, the JV squad taking it to the Cardinals and have themselves a 12-point lead here. Got a little break for halftime. And we will be back with you here in just a few. Welcome back as we're getting set for quarter number 3, second half of play here in our game 1 of our quadruple header. Game 3, actually. Game 1 of the JV varsity game. Coming up after this one, we'll have the varsity match, their first home match of 2022-2023. And the JV now 2-2 on the season, looking to stretch that out to 3-2. Good evening once again, or good afternoon once again. I'm Dan Kinzinger alongside Dave Wolf. Glad to be here with you. And we're going to switch ends here. So the Cyclones now that are warming up in the white, near side on your screen. Have a little better view with them here in second half. Right now the score is 20-8. It's a 12-point advantage. That's right, only 8 points. You'd think if you were listening to the junior high games, that's what the score would be of a junior high game, but it's been a low-scoring affair thus far for the JV squad. JV has missed their fair share of shots and are not shooting an incredibly good rate from 3, but still maintain a 12-point lead here over a struggling St. Anne team that is having a rough time with the size and the defense of the Cyclones. So, looking at this JV squad, you've got a nice 1-2 punch out there, a solid 1-2 punch with Caleb Lade and Kobe White. Both of them leading the team well, and probably the 2 most active players in there, Eli Clinton, moving around, flying around as well. He's great to have. Clinton stands 6'1". Will Toma in there at 6'4", and Josh Kalmus in there at 6'3" as well. Ian O'Connor's played his fair share and has been in there. He's 6'3" as well. So the bigs for the Cyclones have done a nice job inside. The one thing that I would love to see the bigs do a little bit more is box out on the defensive end of things and tighten those defensive rebounds a little bit. About a minute 15 left until we get quarter number 3 underway. Ball's coming off the court. All right, Cyclones coming back out. It'll be St. Anne ball, I believe. I thought we won the tip, but we must not have. It'll be Cyclone ball. St. Anne dropping back in to man-to-man. Laid out now, top of the key with it. Ball fake, hands off, far side to White. White penetrates, 6-foot jumper. That one off the front of the iron. Tipped around, rebound St. Anne. Cardinals are going to push it. They've got a man up there. Number 21, right-hand layup up and in. And the first 2 of the second half go to the Cardinals from St. Anne. Caleb Lade with it, crossing the timeline. Takes it to his right. Fakes a shot. Now outside White. Just inside the three-point range. That is off. Rebound Lade. Clinton finds a man underneath Kalmus, but it was a little bit of a weak pass. Stolen on the other end, though, by White. That's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to stay St. Anne ball. So it was a great idea by Clinton, but just not enough mustard on that pass. Down to Kalmus. 20-10. 6:19 remaining here in quarter number 3. That screaming you hear in the background is the St. Anne coach. Nice ball fake. Rotation, 21, spins around, blocked, and White back with it. Hands off to Lade, and the offense gets set. Nice pass by Lade, now inside, swings it back out. Clinton, ball fake, drives down in the paint, floats one up there. That one off the mark. Gets his own rebound. Hands off to Toma. They're going to call him for... No, they're going to say he got the foul. I think he took 3 steps. But that one counts. And Will Toma is going to go to the charity stripe for a 3-point play. Hey, kiddo, how are you? Good. 22-10. Toma going for his third point here. That one rattles around, goes out of bounds, and they're going to say it was last touched by the Cyclones. So an unsuccessful three-point play. And St. Anne brings it up now. 12-point lead still for the Cyclones. Laid on number 2. He's dribbling to his left, now passes back top of the key. Rolls around at the free throw line. Spinning move, loses control of it, goes out of bounds. And that'll go back to the Cyclones. So number 21 for St. Anne, he's the one that really continues to try to make things happen for them. But often gets doubled and runs into a little bit of trouble. Laid back with it. Picked up his dribble. He's in trouble. What a cutting Kobe White right there. Gets his own rebound. Tries to throw it off St. Anne. Nobody happening. Kicks it out to Kalmus. Kalmus now back near side. Clinton, three-pointer on the way. That one's good. Eli Clinton with a three. And that'll make it 25-10. Substitutions in the game now for St. Anne. After an injury there on number 24, the way it looks. Twisted his ankle a little bit. St. Anne not showing any sense of urgency here. Down by 15 with 4:50 remaining in quarter number 3. Nice ball fake. Goes down low, baseline. Nope, kicks it back out top. Number 23 with it. At the top of the key. Pulls up, straight away. That one off the glass. Didn't even hit iron. Rebound Toma. Way to rip it away. Lade's going to push it. He's got Kalmus down on the near side, hands off to Clinton. Far side, White, three-pointer on the way. That one off the glass. The bank is open. And Kobe White with the banked-in three-pointer gives the Cyclones an 18-point lead. 28-10 here with 4:20 to go in quarter number 1. Number 23 hands off now, top of the key, 11. Ball hand, spins down in the lane, kicks it back out. Three-pointer, nope. Ball fake to the left. Now back out. Number 21, their playmaker. Ball fake, drives in left-handed, misses that one. Laid with the rebound. Transition game going, but he's going to slow things up. White now with it, hands back to Lade. Lade sets up the offense. Boys go in motion. Look for Clinton to come all the way around. He does, back near side. Kalmus flashes up, but the ball goes down low. Into Toma. Nice position. Kicks it back out. Lade. Three-pointer on the way. That one off the mark. Rebound St. Anne. St. Anne pushing it up. Number 21. He gets a little bit out of control. Loses it. Back to Clinton. Lade. Ball fake. Goes to the right-hand side now. Up and in. And just misses that one off the front glass a little bit too hard. St. Anne down the other way. Tosses it up there. Get their own rebound. Turn it around. Missed that one. And gets the rebound again. Three-pointer for them on the way. That one off the front of the iron. Rebound Kobe White. So White's going to move things along here. That was a reach around. That'll be a foul on number 2. That was one of the things that I coached and I coached and I coached. I don't think number 2 got any part of the body. But what he did is he reached in front right into the player. And my coach always told me reach out, not in, because if you reach in, you're invading the space of that player in front of you, and the official is more likely to call that than if you're reaching away from the player trying to knock the ball away. I know, it sounds cliche, but it worked. I was a fouling machine until I learned that. Nice drive by Lade, and that stretches things out to a 20-point game, 30-10. St. Anne with it now on the wing, slowly. Number 2 lobs it in to number 31. Shot goes up, little bunny from about 3 foot, and that one's good to make it 30-12. 2:40 remaining here in quarter number 3. Lade with it. Dribbles to his right, slowly stutter step, now down in the paint. That one rattles around, hits all areas of the rim and falls. 32-12, back to a 20-point game. St. Anne down on the side with it, kick it down low. Reverse layup up and in for St. Anne. And we can't let our defense get sloppy just because we're up here. 2:10 to go in period number 3. 32-14, Lade with it again. That one knocked away. A nice reach in there by number 21. And if you notice that difference, As Lade was dribbling that, watch the hands of 21. He reached out, not directly into Caleb, and that knocked the ball away, even though he did get a part of Lade's hands. Last touch, they say, by Cornerstone. St. Anne now with it on the left-hand side, trying to work it in. Stolen by Lade. He's going to push things right down in the middle. Looks for a handoff, nobody there, and he's going to draw a foul. And we'll go to the free throw line here for 2 shots. Lade's first one up and in. That makes it 33-14. Back to a 19-point lead. Sorry about that. I will get your game back up. There you go. That's what I wanted to do. Second one just off the mark. Rebound St. Anne. And they'll slowly bring things down here. Sets up their offense. Number 21's rolling all the way around. Back to the wing, and it's just not. This is the same play they've been working all day long. Stolen by Lade. He read that like a book. Up and in, uncontested layup. And the Cyclones now lead 35-14. Minute 15 remaining here in quarter number 3. St. Anne, penetration down at the free throw line. Kick it back out. Number 3 with it. In at the post. Turns it around. That one's too short. Rebound St. Anne. Back up in the air again. Fight for it. Down on the ground. And the Cyclones are going to come away with it. Lade has it. And they're going to call timeout. Coach Witt wanted to slow things down. That was an interesting time to do it as they had numbers, but timeout called with 55 seconds remaining here in quarter number 3. 35-14. Your Cyclones easily on their way right now to moving to 3-2 on the season. Nice to see the Cyclone cheerleaders out there. And you can hear Coach Witt down there continuing to try to work on that offense. And also probably recognizing some things that the defense is doing that's going to open up different areas for that offense to explore. So you've got Balonis, Klein, and O'Connor in there. And then Lade. And now Webb. So Lade hands off to Webb. Webb hands off to Klein. Now far side, back to Lade. Inside to O'Connor. Takes a dribble. Kicks it back to Lade. Three-pointer from the wing on the way. That one's good. Caleb Lade with a 3. And it's 38-14. 24-point lead with 30 seconds remaining in quarter number 3. Nice ball fake spin move in the Lade. Number 21 tries to throw one up. Bologna steals it, though. Lade quickly on the way, does not have numbers, slows it back up. Webb, three-pointer on the way. That one off the front of the rim. Knocks it loose, though. Klein pulls it up, and from 15 foot, Evan Klein with 2. And it's 40-14. 5 seconds to go. St. Anne content here the way it looks. Not going to get that one off in time, and that's the way the third quarter ends, 40-14. And we're going to move into the last section of play here for the JV squad, but barring a miracle, your Cyclone JV squad will move now to 3-2 on this young season. Some nice defense by the Cyclones, but primarily has been the guard play between Kobe White and Caleb Lade that has really driven this team, and some great defensive pressure by Lade. Leads the way here, I believe, with 6 steals on the day. And then also leads in scoring. I don't have that directly in front of me. So this is, other than last night, this is the fifth game, but the first home game of the season for the Cyclones, other than their 3-game tournament they had back on the day after Thanksgiving. And then their first real road away game was last night down in Hayworth, which they did not win. So just getting into the groove of the season here. St. Anne misses on that one. Rebound O'Connor. White's now going to take over at point guard. So it's going to be White and Webb. Balonis now at the free throw line. Ball fake, kicks it back out. Klein, ball fake now to his right. He's about 10 foot away. Back out to Balonis. Near side, White tries to feed it into O'Connor. Ball's on the ground. Tipped around, and they're going to call jump ball. And that should stay with the Cyclones. 6.5 minutes to go in this one. 40-14, a 26-point lead for Cornerstone. Webb looking to feed it in. He does to White. White now top of the key. Ball fake goes to his right. Dishes off O'Connor. Turn around jumper. That one good. There's a nice big man move.
For Ian, I should say.
Yeah, nice one for Ian O'Connor.
Maybe a running clock here, Dano.
Wouldn't hurt my feelings at all.
You've been here all day.
I've been here since about 9 o'clock this morning.
Nice.
O'Connor with it now. Has it knocked away. Webb right there, though, looking for White. Hands it off, so Kobe will take over. Nice dish into Balonis. Right hand in the lane. Goes up off the glass. That one no good, though. Quickly up St. Anne. They're going to push numbers here. That long pass, though, just out of the reach of number 2, goes out of bounds, and so it will come back to the Cyclones. So I think you've got their second-string squad in there as well. 21 is still in the game,
yep,
and 23, but other than that,
offensive foul.
They're going to catch, is that O'Connor with a moving screen, the way
Probably,
it looked?
Yes. Aiden playing any basketball these days?
Aiden?
Yeah.
So Aiden actually made the 7th grade team as a 5th grader.
Nice.
Yeah, so
awesome.
He gets to practice 5 days a week. Gets a little playing time here and there, but the experience that he's gaining from practicing is pretty fantastic.
Good. Does he have his daddy's skills?
I hope not. There wasn't a whole lot there.
I'm sure you're better than you're claiming yourself to be.
I liked Me, Myself, and I. You remember that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Me, Myself, and I. It's an old song. Let's dating ourselves, my friend. Who sang that?
Me, Myself, and I? Yeah. Was that...
is that Kid and Play?
That was Kid and Play. You're right.
Was it?
Yep.
The fact that I can even remember that.
The fact that we even know who Kid and Play is.
Yes, that's right.
It's horrible.
You know, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, all those good shows, you know?
Will Smith, what was the name of his rap group?
Oh, boy. DJ Jazzy Jeff and
the Fresh Prince. That's it. You're right.
You go. Good. So you had mushrooms today? No.
I did.
You did.
So I had to take the girls home after the game, and I swung by that burger joint right next to Oberweis and had myself a way overpriced burger. But I really enjoy mushrooms and Swiss, and you can't find them anywhere anymore.
Yes, the supply chain is low.
Well, just nobody likes mushrooms anymore.
This is true. And I think they're God's gift to
creation.
creation.
They're fantastic.
Portobello, a nice portobello.
I would become vegetarian, just eat mushrooms all day long. And MSG. 3-pointer on the way for St. Anne. That one's up and good. And they cut it back to a 27-point lead after the Cyclones had stretched it to 30.
That's why I like Chicken Pietro so much at Biaggi's.
Which one's that?
Chicken Pietro. Always comes with these
tons of mushrooms?
Big portobello mushrooms.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Now there's a Chinese place, First Walk, over there by the Ghetto Kroger.
Okay.
And First Walk has a beef and bean dish that is you can only order if you know Chinese. So I take a picture of it on my phone, and it automatically translates it, but it's an authentic Chinese dish. Okay. And they've got these full-size mushrooms in it that just soak up that juice like a sponge. Nice. It's fantastic.
Nice.
There's nothing better than mushrooms, people.
First walk or second walk
first
third
walk? First walk. I don't know why somebody would call themselves first walk. Anyway, yes. Kobe White, three-pointer on the way. That one's up and good.
Yes. I think we got running clock now, Dan.
We should. 30 points. It doesn't stop from here on out. St. Anne loses that one. They regain control, then throw one back to the Cyclones. So another turnover by St. Anne's. White with it. Nice pick by O'Connor. White's going to take it down baseline. Tries to feed Aaron Webb. Webb just out of hand. Three-pointer, long three-pointer on the way by Logan Ratley. Rebound inside Webb. That one off the mark. Stolen by Webb. Back by himself. Up and in.
Aaron will probably go run a Spartan race after this.
Right. This is just the warm-up for
this is the warm-up for Aaron.
For his
if you're
real
listening, Dustin.
His relays tonight.
He's ready. Dustin, he's ready to go for a big run.
I think he was world Spartan champion for his age group.
Is he? Doesn't
I believe
surprise
so.
me. Him and Hayes Willard, she's in the big CrossFit,
she is.
And she's like, I think she's third in the world.
She's ripped. She is ripped.
Yeah.
She would hurt me.
She'd take us out at the knees.
It's like, I'm sorry, you're right, Hayes. Whatever you want. She's like 3'2", too.
Yes. Yeah. If you're listening, Danny Willard, I'm still waiting for my free lunch, just like Andrew Woodman. So Danny Willard had a bet with me a couple years ago. He said if you could, I was doing broadcasting. It was during COVID. And he said if you could weave in hokey pokey into your broadcast some way, I'll treat you for lunch.
And you did it.
And I did it.
And he still hasn't bought you lunch.
He still hasn't bought me lunch.
Oh, man.
So, Dan Willard, I'm waiting. You know my number.
That's grounds for a door knocking at 9 o'clock at night.
Yes, it is. Yeah. I don't know if they DoorDash all the way in Eureka now. So.
Actually, Eureka, have you tried the Chinese place down there yet?
They have a Chinese place in Eureka?
Well, they used to, right across from the courthouse on the west side there.
I don't think it's there anymore.
Really? Yeah. COVID might have. You had the Chanticleer, which was God's gift to restaurants. I love the Chanticleer.
Did you like the Chanticleer? That's right down the road from where I live, Dano.
Well, they closed it, though.
Yeah, I live a stone's throw away from the Chanticleer.
No kidding.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. You can, see my house from the Chanticleer.
They had the best prime rib.
Did they?
Yeah. It's probably good that they closed because...
Well, you can come over and have lunch with me.
I would love to.
Anytime.
We could just go sit in the Chanticleer even though it's closed.
We could buy it, and then we could run it ourselves.
Yeah, right.
With lots of MSG.
Just call it the MSG house. There is a basketball game going on. The Cyclones are up right now, 49-17 with 52 seconds. It's a running clock. It's not stopping. St. Anne throws one up. That one's up and in. Cuts it back to 30.
It is always a joy to talk food with you, though, Dan.
I tell you what, it seems to happen at the right times, too. It's when we get hungry.
Yes.
On the right-hand side now, cutting into the lane, Kobe White.
Not going to be denied on that one.
Nope. And he's grabbing his back here. He's got to be careful with that. That is one of those things that if he strained his back, yeah, he's grimacing. And he picked up his dribble. Just needs to get rid of it.
Yeah.
He's hurting. That's the oblique. Back in the back. White with a block.
And then he flexes.
Yep. I don't know why he did that. But 51-21. That's the final. Your JV squad victorious over St. Anne's. We'll watch Kobe, make sure his back is okay, and that's just a minor tweak, but he's got his hand on it right now, back in that oblique area. But regardless, between him and Caleb Blade, they easily handled the Cardinals from St. Anne in game one of our game three, I guess it is, of the quadruple header today. And 51-21, your final score. All right, so we're going to get things all set up here for the varsity game. That one tips in about 15 minutes. We will be right back with you here in just a few with game number 4, the final one of the night between the Cyclones and St. Anne's. Be back with you here in a few. right, good evening and welcome back to Cornerstone Christian Academy for game number 4, the final game of our quadruple header today that started this morning at about 10 o'clock. And you just saw the JV squad hand it to St. Anne's 47-17. And we're getting set for your Cyclone varsity squad coming in 3-1 on the season, looking to expand it to 4-1. Good evening once again and welcome. I'm Dan Kinzinger alongside Mr. Dave Wolf. And we have got a fun one here for you tonight. So St. Anne comes into the season 500 and had a very close one last night against Momence, only losing by 3 points. They've got a couple of pretty funky guards that can do quite a lot of things. And then they've kind of got a utility player that's down underneath that is unconventional, I think, to say the least. He doesn't have the kind of smooth moves that you would think a down low player would have, but somehow is able to use those mechanics and turn around and make some nice plays. You'll see that all happen tonight. All right, so your Cyclones getting set to go for win number 4 and increase their record to 4-1. Let's talk a little bit. First, let's go through St. Anne's starters and their roster just to get that out of the way, and then we'll talk some stats here as well. So for St. Anne, the Cardinals of St. Anne, they've got a freshman guard, Brigham Hayes, a freshman guard, Matthew Langelier, a senior guard, Ryan Sororis, a senior guard, Fred Burton, a junior guard, Tyler Lamy, a freshman guard, Grant Pomeranski, freshman guard / forward, Brandon Scoth, a senior center, Anthony Blake. That's who I'm talking about there. It's kind of that unconventional player. A sophomore guard, Jordan Davis, a freshman guard, Quentin Thompson, a senior forward, Demetrius Welgus, and a freshman forward, Jason Bly. We've got a sophomore guard as well, Ja'Cory Wyatt, a senior center, Christian Stamp. You'll see him today as well. And a sophomore forward, Dion Pfeiffer. The Cardinals are head coached by Schoon Rick and are assisted by Logan Savoy. All right, so that's out of the way. Let's talk a little bit about your Cyclone roster. So looking at the varsity roster, here's how it sits. Number 3, a 5'9" guard, Kobe White. You saw him in the JV game, one of the most valuable players there in that JV game. Number 5, a 5'7" guard, Jack Clark. Jack is a senior this year. You've got Caleb Blade. Caleb is a sophomore, a 5'10" sophomore guard. And then you've got a 6-foot starting guard in Caden Smith. He's a senior as well. All the starting 5 are seniors. Connor Scott, number 13, a 5'11" guard. He's a starter. He's one of the seniors. And then the MVP from last season, Jackson Baber, number 14, a 6'1" forward that's also going to shoot three-pointers and dish the ball out. He's a senior as well. Number 15, Austin Hennard. Austin, a 6-foot guard. He's overall kind of the key to this whole team. You'll see why here in just a few. And then, of course, the man who can't miss, number 20, Tate Witt, a 6'1" guard. He's a senior as well. Josh Kalmus in there. You saw him in the JV game. Caleb Inescu, a 6-foot forward. He's a junior. He'll get quite a bit of playing time in there as well. And then our last senior starter, number 31, a 6'2" guard / forward, kind of a utility man in there as well, Cade Wolf. Will Toma joins him, as well as does Eli Clinton. Your head coach for your Cornerstone varsity squad, John Shippert, assisted by Chad Witt, and Colton Cassidy, your student manager, Noah Bricker. 5 minutes to go here until we tip this one off. Let's talk stats here just a little bit. So the boys got started right before Thanksgiving. First game of the year was a win against Midland, 70-68. Second game next night, Peoria Heights, 41-21 victors. And the funny thing about both of those games was at no time was this Cyclone team performing at their best. 4 of the 5 starters all underneath the weather, and some of which would not even be allowed in school. I just have to say it. They were that sick and still came out to support their teammates and play. still picking up victories. Then they went to undefeated Peoria Christian. Peoria Christian, always known for stout basketball, expected to have one again this year. Another great team. And the Cyclones on Friday night gave them a run for their money, but came up just short. Their only loss thus far of the season against Peoria Christian, 63-60, back the Friday after Thanksgiving. That put them at 2-1. And then last night, they went down to Hayworth, an HOI conference team, and handed it to them 50-35. Where Jackson Baber really had his explosive game, kind of broke out of his shell, giving the coach what he thought that he should have all season long with 20 points. So, your senior five, the five seniors that start this thing, let's talk a little bit about them. Connor Scott, all kind of an all-aspect guard out there. He's averaging 6 points per game. He's only been in 3 games. Game number 2 of the season against Peoria Heights, he was out. He's also averaging those 6 assists per game. So 6 and 6 points and assists, that's going to be key. Then you roll over to Jackson Baber. Jackson Baber really, according to Coach, offensively had underproduced. Coach was hoping for more, and then last night at Hayworth, Jackson Baber kicked it into gear and gave him more. He's averaging 14 points a game after a 20-point performance last night. He's also averaging 7 boards a game as well, Jackson Baber is. Then the man, Austin Hennard, number 15. He is a freak of an athlete. I got to work with him last year during track season. This is a kid that is just a dream to coach because of his natural athletic ability. When he gets in his mind that he's going to do something, he's going to do it. And he's showing that on the court this year by averaging 19.5 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Your leading scorer, number 15, Austin Hennard. Let's shift over and look at Tate Witt. Tate Witt is going to be that shooting guard that is going to be just looming outside the three-point line, but then when that shot goes up, he's going to be crashing the boards. But his thing, his forte, is that three-point shot. 6.5 points a game for Tate, number 20, and 2 rebounds a game as well. And then Cade Wolf. This stat line here is just one of those that, as I was looking for those stats that kind of stood out after last night, looking at several of these, it's a little bit crazy because these stats are nuts. Listen to this. Only 7.5 points a game for Cade, but he's averaging over 4 rebounds a game, over 5 assists a game, and over 3 steals a game. Those are your 5 starters. Cade Wolf, Tate Witt, Austin Hennard, Jackson Baber, and Connor Scott, number 13, 14, 15, 20, and 31. Here are the downsides, though. As a team, they're averaging 11.5 turnovers a game. That's one of those things that I know the boys are going to want to tighten up a little bit. 25.5 rebounds a game, 56 points a game. They're allowing 46, so a 10-point difference right there. But here's a fact for you. From three-point range, 23 for 58 from three-point range. That's a 40% clip. But from the free throw line, this is glaring. 24 of 51 thus far from the free throw line. That's only 47%. So I know Coach is going to want to tighten down on that as well. We're about a minute away here. We've got something new. Mr. Wolf is going to be handling the starting lineups and the prayer. You're going to hear it all right here on the Cyclone Broadcasting Network.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cornerstone Christian Academy for today's varsity boys basketball game with the visiting Cardinals of St. Anne High School and your very own Cornerstone Christian Academy, Cyclones. This time we ask that you stand for a word of prayer and then the playing of our national anthem. Heavenly Father, we come to you and we thank you for another day of life. We thank you for the breath that you give to us. We thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to come out and to cheer on, Lord, these young men and these young ladies. And Lord, all who are involved with this game today, we ask, Lord, first of all, for safety. We ask that you would be glorified, Lord, in how we play, how we talk, how we act. Ultimately, we thank you that Jesus is the one that allows us to be able to bring glory to you by grace through faith. And so, Lord, we ask that you would bless this time. Help us, Lord, to honor you as fans with our words and our actions and our deeds. And we thank you for the gift of Jesus again as we celebrate this Christmas season. And we say this in your Son's name. Amen. Now for the starting lineups of the visiting Cardinals of St. Anne High School. Starting at guard, a 6-foot senior, number 4, Fred Burton. At the other guard, a 5'8" freshman, number 10, Grant Pomeranski. Starting at the other guard, a 5'10" sophomore, number 23, Jordan Davis. Starting at forward, a 6-foot freshman, number 11, Brandon Shaw. And at center, a 6'4" senior, number 21, Anthony Blake. And now, the starting lineup for your Cyclones of Cornerstone Christian Academy. Starting at guard, a 6'1" senior, number 20, Tate Wick. Starting at the other guard, 5'11" senior, number 13, Connor Scott. Starting at guard, a 6-foot senior, number 15, Austin Henner. Starting at forward, a 6'1" senior, number 14, Jackson Baber. And at forward, a 6'2" senior, number 31, Cade Wolf.
Well, thank you, Mr. Dave Wolf, for that. And we are getting set here for the tip. Number 14, Jackson Baber in, is going to jump against a 6'4", number 21. And Cade Wolf back in the backcourt. St. Anne's going to win this one. 23 very quickly back to it. And man-to-man defense now for the Cyclones. Quick rotations up on the guard, looking to try to get something down the paint. They do. A little 8-foot jumper, that one off the glass. 21 right back with it and rolls it up over the front of the rim for the first points of the game. Connor Scott's going to bring this one up slow. 1-3-1 zone here. That St. Anne is running. That's a little bit different. We thought we might see this. There again, Connor Scott's going to force one in. Cade Wolf reaches around, strips it. Quickly back the other way, trying to find Tate Witt. And that connection didn't happen. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will come back to St. Anne. 7:19. We're just underway here in quarter number one. It's a 2-0 lead. St. Anne on top of the Cyclones. Scott up there on number 23. Davis. Davis hands off now. Near side to Burton. Burton back to Davis. Davis looking for something. Number 10 now with it. Pomeranski back out to Davis. Swings it far side. Out to Burton. Burton is looking in the middle here. Ball fakes and then goes near side on the wing. Up to the top of the key. Number 10 swings it around. The 21 in there is looking for it, calling for it. And Davis tries to feed him, and it goes off of Jackson Baber's leg out of bounds. And it will stay St. Anne ball. 6:41 to go here in quarter number one. Ball gets inbounded. Number 11 turns. Scott with it. Up and a charge by Connor Scott. Taking one for the team there. And it does look like Scott is down with an injury. So, yeah, it's one of those things that hard to take when you come in and looks like it might have been an ankle or something there, but they do get him off. So substitution will have to come into the game here. And that will be number 3, Ryan Soroyce.
Ryan Seroy. He replaces Brandon Shuck.
All right, Cyclones back in it. Hennard hands to Scott. And the Cyclones down with their first real opportunity to run some offense. Set play. Wild pass out to Witt. Witt looking back into Baber. Quick into Wolf. Wolf turns around. That one's a miss. Nice interior passing there for the Cyclones. St. Anne quickly back up. Number 4 back with it. Baber in the paint. Jump ball. And I think Baber was holding on for that one. And that should go back to the Cyclones. St. Anne not going to press here. Scott hands off to Wolf. Wolf now looking back to Baber. Top of the key. Hennard back to Scott. Scott baseline. Cross court. Witt. Three-pointer on the way. That one's good. Tate Witt. First three-pointer of the game. And the first points of the game for Witt and for the Cyclones. St. Anne right back into it. Rotating around. Far side now. Back to the top of the key. Number 3 with it. Tied up. Hennard right there. Jump ball. That will stay with St. Anne. Ryan Soroy ran right into an Austin Hennard. And Hennard's got great hands and was able to knot that one up. Burton's going to throw this one in. Down low. Finds Davis. Stolen by Scott. And then Davis is going to get called for the foul there, a push on Scott. Hennard's going to bring it across the timeline. Hennard on the far side, penetrates in, finds Witt down there, saves it back to Hennard. Hennard ball fakes, drives into the paint, kicks out. Connor Scott, three-pointer on the way. That one good. And Scott loads 3, and that's 2 for 2 for the boys now from three-point range. They're shooting at a 40% clip here this season. And it's 6-2. Cyclones up on St. Anne. Davis back with it at the top of the key. Surveying stuff. Pick coming. Davis takes it down the right-hand side. Paint high off the glass. That one up and in. And it's 6-4. Connor Scott with it, crossing the timeline. Looking inside. Picked up his dribble. Has to do something. Wolf with it down low. Cross court. Hennard. Ball fake. Witt. He's looking into the paint for Baber. That one knocked away by number 21. And St. Anne has numbers. Knocked away by Wolf. And Ryan Soroy came down with it and did not look like he quite knew what he wanted to do with it as he got close to the basket. Tried to back it out. Wolf was just there to strip it away. 4:28 remaining here. Quarter number 1, 6-4. It's a 2-point lead for the Cyclones. Wolf guarding the inbounds play. And there's going to be an illegal screen on number 23, Davis. That's going to be his second here in just 2.5 minutes of play. And it'll turn the ball over back to the Cyclones. Scott brings it across court. Hands off, right back into Scott. Ball fake, rolls around, reverse. That one off the mark, rebound St. Anne. St. Anne's got numbers. Nice handoff, layup in the paint by number 4, Fred Burton. And it's knotted up at 6. Scott pushes it, fires out to Witt. Witt back inside to Scott. Cross, now Scott back with it. Right hand layup up, missed, gets his own rebound, turns around, puts that one up, and that one's a miss as well. And I apologize there, Baber got that pass. Quickly down the other end, fast break layup, and caught the Cyclones sleeping right there. And St. Anne has taken a 2-point lead at 8-6. Scott over to Hennard. Hennard, you have not seen much involvement in the offense thus far. Down low, cross court. Scott, Witt, last pass, three-pointer on the way. That one up and good. And that's all the scoring for the Cyclones. 3 3-pointers, 2 by Tate Witt. And it's 9-8, a 1-point lead here with 3:11 remaining in quarter number 1. Near side, Burton with it. Tries to go low, guarded by Wolf. Looking inside. Cross-court pass lazily, stolen by Baber. Baber now one-on-one, takes it up, right-hand layup. That one off the mark. Rebound Scott, up and in. And Connor Scott cleaning up scraps there. Makes it 11-8 with 2:54 remaining in quarter number 1. Jordan Davis crosses the timeline. Looking back at coach, setting up offense. One-on-one by himself, and they're going to call him for carrying. And that's a call that I think the officials are focusing on this year. You see it more and more, and it's pride. You know, they talk every year about one or two different areas that they're going to focus on. I think carrying is one of them. I've seen that call a lot here this season already. Hennard with it on the near side. Cuts into the lane. Little floater up and in, and Austin Hennard with a nice floater to make this one 13-8. So it was 8-6, but a 7-point run now by the Cyclones have given them a 5-point lead with 2.5 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. Davis has it stolen by Scott. Scott loses that one, though, out of bounds, and it will stay St. Anne ball. Nope. They're going to say that St. Anne last touched it. So Cyclones will get to hold on to it. (13-8) with 2:11 remaining here in quarter number 1. Scott set to inbound it to Hennard. Hennard now at the top of the key. Down to Witt. Inside, Baber turns around. Nice turn and look by Jackson Baber. 15-8. And the Cyclones have gone on a 9-0 run after St. Anne went up by 2. And they lead now by 7. Davis goes into the paint. That one off the glass. Not much to that one as Jordan Davis just kind of throws it off the glass. Inbounds, Connor Scott turns around, tries to find Baber. Does across the lane. And Baber puts one off the glass. And that's the coach of St. Anne is going to want to talk that one over a little bit. Try to plug that lane up as Baber's had a couple of nice looks in there. 17-10. That's where she sits right now with a minute 35 remaining in quarter number 1. A 7-point lead for your Cyclones. And it was a little slow getting going here, but that offense has really picked up and started to roll for your Cyclones. All right, if you're just joining us, this is Game 4 of a quadruple header we had today. We had junior high boys basketball. That was this morning. So this is the last one of the day, but the first home game for both JV and varsity this season. And we are glad to get the first one here under our belt. All right, so you got Scott, Hennard, Witt, Baber, and Wolf out there. The inbound pass comes to Burton for St. Anne. Guarded by Hennard. Davis is on the near side. He's guarded by Scott. Cross court, number 10 finds number 21 inside. That's Anthony Blake. He maneuvers, and a great block, and oh my. Foul's going to be called on Jackson Baber. I'm not quite for sure what the official saw there. It looked like his body language said, oops, I blew my whistle, and I probably shouldn't have. But regardless, it's going to send number 21, Anthony Blake, to the line for two. The first one goes off, rattles around, and doesn't fall. So Blake is that forward that they've got that's got some neat mechanics in there. Blake for his second shot. This one up and goes off the iron as well. Rebound Baber. Hennard now with it. It's going to push things. Slows it back up. Looks around for Scott. Scott takes a couple dribbles in. Hennard, three-pointer on the way. That one off the mark. And rebound St. Anne. Tipped around. Baber back with it. Scott underneath. Up and in. And the Cyclones refusing to quit on that one. 19-10 with 55 seconds to go here in quarter number one. Davis with it at the top of the key. Ball fakes, dribbles to the right now. And they're going to get Wolf with that one. And Wolf might have had hand on a hand as that went up. Davis is going to go to the line here. 4-2. First one is good for Davis. And it's 19-11. Davis will have a second one coming. Substitutions into the game. Tate Witt will take a quick breather. And Caden Smith is going to check in for a little bit. Second shot up for Davis. That one up and in. And the Cyclones right back into it. Scott, top of the key. Swints over to Hennard. Now Hennard feeds down low. Wolf with it. Fires cross court. Scott down to Smith. Smith back to Scott. Scott now ball faked. Inbounds. Hands off to Baber. Nice passing interior by Cade Wolf. Scott hit Cade up by the free throw line, and Cade was right there and shot it down to Jackson Baber. Makes it 21-12. 20 seconds to go here. Quarter number one. And they're going to hold for the last shot here. They'll go at 10. Davis moves. Double teamed. Turnover. Caden Smith with it. Ahead to Hennard. Up an easy layup in. And that is how quarter number one is going to end 23-12. And so the Cyclones go on a 17-4 run to end quarter number one. After St. Anne, the Cardinals went up 8-6, and then the Cyclones just put the gas on 23-12. That's where we sit after this one. And you've seen a lot of nice ball movement. So the Cyclones, are not a team that's going to be overly big. They're not. It's they don't have a massive presence inside. You've got good mechanics on the guys that you do have in there. And speaking mainly of Jackson Baber, he's had a couple of opportunities where he's had guys collapsing on him, and then somehow Connor Scott just kind of flies out of nowhere, and Baber's able to see him on the box right across the lane, and Scott's got a couple of nice, easy layups from that. Three-point shooting, 3 for 4 the Cyclones are. Hennard 1 for 2, Tate 2 for 2, Tate Witt, and Connor Scott 1 for 1. All right, here we go. Set for quarter number 2. Hennard's going to take it out of bounds and hand it off to Connor Scott. 23-12. That's where we are. And Scott's going to slowly bring it across the timeline here. Hennard goes in motion. Wolf now with it at the top of the key. Baber flashes up. Cross court to Connor Scott. Scott with it now, left hand in the paint. Turns around, find Baber, finds out Wolf, three-pointer on the way. That one just off the mark. And Baber unable to contain the rebound. Quickly ahead is Davis, three-pointer on the way. That one off the mark. Hennard skies over Tyler Lamy for the rebound. Scott now with it in the paint, and that one got away from him. Hennard one-on-one with Davis. Goes up. Davis able to go over the top of him. And quickly now, it's 23-14. Cross court. Hennard with it. Three-pointer on the way. That one's good. Hennard brings it back to 12, 26-14 with 7 minutes remaining here in quarter number 2 in this first half. Scott on Davis. And then Hennard over on Lamy. Up at, now on the wing. Back up to Davis. Davis is calling Blake to come up and screen Scott. Handoff. Blake's now got it. Drives around, kicks it out. Pomeranski, three-pointer. That one's up and good. And it's 26-17. Pomeranski with his first 3 of the night. Quick cut. Cade Wolf down the lane, and a nice eye by Jackson Baber. 6:23, 28-17. Cyclones up by 11. Davis at the top of the key. Another pick coming up on the left-hand side for Scott. Davis stops and pops at the 15-foot line. Rebound, Cyclones. That one came to Cade Wolf. Connor Scott on the left-hand side. Now kicks it near side. Hennard, one more pass. Baber, back to Hennard. Hennard swinging it. Connor Scott down in the corner. Three-pointer on the way. That one's up and good. And the Cyclones lighten it up from three-point range, 31-17. Some big plays here by the Cyclones, who are shooting the lights out from three-point range tonight. Good defense by Baber. Far side, penetrating in right now, swings it back to the top of the key, does St. Anne. Scoth down at the baseline for the Cardinals. Ball fake guarded by Wolf. Picks it back up. Finds Blake in the middle. Spin move, 15 or 5-footer. That one off the iron. And they're going to get Cade Wolf, I believe, for a foul on number 11. And that's going to be a foul away from the ball. So it'll be St. Anne ball out of bounds. Substitutions back in the game. Jack Clark checks in, as well as Tate Witt comes back in. Ball comes into St. Anne. Soroy with it, now on the far side. That was going back to Soroy, a pass coming from Lamy, and Soroy wasn't ready for it. It goes out of bounds, turnover, back to the Cyclones. Hennard with it, crossing the timeline. In this 1-3-1 defense, they go to more of a 2-1-2 look offense, and they're going to call Baber for the charge on that. He dropped his shoulders. So that will be a turnover for the Cyclones. 31-17 is the lead right now, a 14-point lead. 5:02 remaining here in quarter number 2. So with 2 fouls, Baber's going to have a seat. Wolf's going to check back into the game. Davis brings it across for St. Anne. Blake on the screen. Davis ball fakes, picks up his dribble, though. Nowhere to go. Finds Soroy on the near side. Soroy has it knocked away by Wolf. It's going to be a tie-up jump ball, and that one should go to the Cyclones. Nope, they're going to hold it with St. Anne. I was wrong. All right, so Baber's going to check back in for Wolf here. He's got 2 fouls. He's going to be careful. You don't want to pick up number 3 here. Gall's out top. Connor Scott kind of knocked it away, but it goes right into Davis's hands. That one goes hard off the glass. Rebound, Jack Clark. Witt with it now. Back to Clark. Clark goes in. Hands off Scott. Kicks it out. Hennard. Long three-pointer on the way. That one's good. Austin Hennard with his third three-pointer of the night to make it 34-17 here. 4:17 remaining in quarter number 2. Davis has it for St. Anne. Swings it around to Soroy. And back to Blake. Blake finds number 11, Brandon Scoth, in the middle. That one's a miss. Quickly up the court. Baber with it on the wing. Comes back in. Clark with it. Penetrates, kicks it out to Hennard. Hennard now right-hand side, finds Baber. Witt now out on the wing. Circles it back around. Clark with it. Ball fake left hand, back to Witt. Three-pointer on the way. That one up and in. And holy cats, are the Cyclones shooting the lights out from three-point range tonight. 37-17 with 3.5 minutes to go here in quarter number 2. Stretching out to a 20-point lead. And Baber goes for the steal against Blake. And Lamy shoots one up here. This one off the back iron. Rebound quickly. Cyclones. Hennard the other way. Going to take it himself. Goes up in the air, gets fouled. And they're going to say the foul was on the ground. So it'll be Cyclone ball underneath their own basket. Substitutions in the game for St. Anne. Christian Stamp. He's a 6-foot senior, but he is a tank. That's a big boy in the middle there. When you put him up against Jackson Baber. Ball goes inbounds to Hennard. Just kind of tosses it up there. Not a good shot by Hennard. And rebound goes to St. Anne. Near side. Lamy up with it. Floater. Nope, that's Burton. That one rebound. Cyclones. Scott has it. Crosses the timeline. Pushing it. Left hand up. Kicks it out. Witt. Second pass. Hennard now drives in right hand. Up off the glass. That one missed. And Connor Scott tries to save it. St. Anne picks it up though. Burton with it now at the top of the key. Left hand comes in. Up against Caden Smith. Three-pointer on the way for St. Anne. That one's good by Brandon Scoth. 37-20. 2 minutes and 28 seconds remaining here in quarter number 2. Connor Scott slows things down. Witt. His defender fell down. Connor Scott's going to take a three. That one's off the mark greatly. So the first real bad shot from three-point range the Cyclones have comes with 2 minutes to go in quarter number 2. In against Smith. Number 4, Burton with it. Up again, left-handed, up and over the glass. No good. Rebound. That big guy in the paint. That is Christian Stamp. And he takes about 5 steps. And they finally call a travel on him. So Cyclones get it back here. 37-20. Still a 17-point lead for Cornerstone. Smith with it. Now on the left-hand dribble. Kicks it out. Witt. Three-pointer on the way. That one just off the mark as well. So after a slurry of makes, we've had 2 misses in a row here. And St. Anne back in with it. Number 11 kicks it back out. Three-pointer by Davis. That one just off the iron. Rebound Witt. Scott with it now on the left-hand side. Brings it back to the middle. Takes 2. And I'm not sure if he was shooting or passing. Little out of control there. And it will be Cyclone ball out of bounds. Quick inside to Baber. Baber misses the easy bunny. Rebound, though. Hennard steals it, turns around, and a reverse layup. And Hennard with his active hands make it 39-20 here. With a minute and a half remaining, a minute 12 remaining in the first half. Davis brings it across the timeline. Ball fakes, dribbles to his left. Three-pointer by Burton. This one up and in. His second three-pointer of the night. Tyler Burton with it. Caden Smith back to Baber. Ball fake. Cross court. Hennard. Ball fake now takes it in. Out to Witt. Witt left-handed back up to Smith. Now Scott with it at the top of the key. Ball fakes, dribbles to his left. Into the paint. Forces one up. Witt with it. Rebound, and they're going to get number 4, Fred Burton, with the reach around. And that's going to be team foul number 6 So anything from here on out will be 1-1.
That is his first foul, team's sixth foul.
Scott's going to throw this inbounds, and it's going to go to Witt. He just sits, catches it, three-pointer on the way. That one off. Henner tries to throw one back up. And that one's a miss. Inbound down the court with St. Anne. And that's going to go off number 42. And they're going to say actually Jackson Baber touched it. Nope, Caden Smith touched it. Jack Clark's going to check in for Caden Smith. It's going to be St. Anne ball, regardless. 39-23 is the score. Quickly inbounds to Blake. Turnaround, no good. Gets his own rebound, stripped away by Clark. Left hand, he's down there underneath his own basket. Kicks it out to Witt. Up top, Hennard, three-pointer on the way. That one rattles around and falls. And with 9 seconds, it's a 19-point lead for your Cyclones. Davis now drives down in the lane, hands it off, stolen by Clark. Back up, Scott heaves one full court. That one wouldn't have counted, and that is the way the first half ends with your Cyclones up on top of St. Anne, 42-23. Got a 10-minute halftime here for you. But some fantastic outside shooting has been really the story of this game as your Cyclones have really put on a show from the three-point line. And everybody getting involved there. They're shooting at a 75% clip from three-point range in that first half. Nobody really has gotten to the foul line. But great ball movement. We'll talk a little bit more about it here in just a couple of minutes. But we'll be right. We'll take a quick break. I'm going to get a glass of water, and we will be right back. right, so we are just about 3.5 minutes away from getting the third quarter underway here. And nothing better than a little Bon Jovi. We can throw that one in there. This brings me back to the radio days. We could do DJ stuff right now. It would be pretty fantastic. All right, let's talk a little bit about your Cyclones here and how that first half went. All right, so defensively, let's start there. St. Anne, not a powerhouse of an offensive team. They've got really two players that are doing everything for them, and the Cyclones know that. They've got the one big kind of that he's a little bit more of an awkward inside player. That's Anthony Blake, 21. He's got nice mechanics once they get the ball to him, and the Cyclones have not had a good answer for Blake once he does get the ball and makes a move to the basket. I would expect St. Anne is going to continue to pound that here in the second half and try to get the ball into Blake. Also, you've got Davis on the outside. Davis is really their key guy. He is their guard that is the one that's going to be taking a majority of the shots outside, and I would expect to see Blake and Davis more involved here in the second half. So if you are the Cyclones in there, you're talking about that. And, this is one of those times where I love the old box, triangle and two, box and one, where you're going to have to isolate somebody in case Davis becomes, kind of the guy who's going to try to do it all. And you've got to keep somebody like a Hennard or Scott on Davis for the duration of the second half. But I don't necessarily think that we're going to see that, but it wouldn't be a bad option in here. Continue defensively doing what you're doing. Box out hard. They match up size-wise pretty nice with the Cyclones, and the Cyclones have active hands. They always have, and the coaching staff at all levels have always taught active hands, and that has really been the difference defensively. Down on the other side of things, on offense, great ball movement, great shifting by the Cyclones, and way to make that extra pass. They have always made that extra pass, and that's what's led to a lot of these wide-open three-point shots. The Cyclones have moved the ball tremendously. 42-23, that's where we sit here after one half. Cyclones on top by 19. So Hennard, Witt, Wolf, Scott, and Baber.
Just a reminder, Cyclone fans, it's Tuesday night, 6 o'clock and 7:30 here at Cornerstone against Roanoke Benson.
It'll be Cyclone ball at half court. Scott gets it into Wolf. Wolf kind of the utility three-man. Hennard now with it on the side. Back to Scott. Setting up the offense. Witt rolls around. Hennard pops back out. Nice rotation. Wolf now with it. Feeds Baber inside. This one nice off the glass. Just missed, though. Wolf back with it. Top of the key. Rebound. And out to Scott. Scott with it. Takes it into the paint. Awkward, but puts it off the glass. And he's got those mechanics to where it doesn't look natural, but he makes it work. And Scott puts one up and in and gives the Cyclones a 21-point lead here in quarter number 3. Burton with it, kicks it back out to Davis. Burton is looking inside. They're trying to find Blake, but Blake just doesn't move down there. Swung it around the other side, fed it into number 11. 11 guarded by Baber. Lobbed over to Blake now. This one up off the glass. Yeah, that's exactly what they're trying to do, is get it into Blake. Blake knew what he was doing, just staying there. Baber in on the other side, kicked it back out. Wolf, three-pointer on the way. That one up and good. And the three-point shooting continues for the Cyclones. 47-25. A 22-point lead now. Davis with it, back at the top of the key. Rotates it around. Shot up. That one, a three-pointer that is good for St. Anne. makes it 47-28 with 6.5 minutes to go in quarter number 3. Hennard back with it, talking to coach about the offense. Finally gets what he wants to do, rotates back around and sets it up. Wolf kicks out, Scott down low. Ball fake, takes it baseline, throws it out top. Tate Witt, three-pointer, good! Witt cocks and fires and drains another one, making it 50-28 Cyclones. Davis, and you just don't see Blake that active down there. You wish he would. That one tipped out of bounds by Hennard. It's going to stay St. Anne ball. But if you watch down there, Burton, big number 21, is just not moving around, which works to the Cyclone advantage, but not a whole lot going on down there. Quick three-pointer. That one up and good by number 10, Grant Pomeranski. His second three-pointer of the night. Scott back with it, calling for help at Hennard. Hands off to Hennard, almost stripped away there, but passes around to Scott. Now Wolf with it. Lob pass, that one goes out of bounds. And just an unforced error there. 50-30, still a 20-point lead for the Cyclones here with 5.5 minutes to go. Down low. Rotates around, back around top. Burton with it now. Down low, kicks it back out. Number 11, Pomeranski. That was Schaub, sorry, with that 15-foot jumper. Scott, baseline, kicks it back out. Wolf with it. Got a ball fake, now drive in the lane to the left. Gets fouled, and that one almost goes in. But he'll go to the line here, shooting 2.
Sending foul number 21. Anthony Blake. Jay Wolf at the line, shooting 2.
So we'll see how the free throw shooting works here for the Cyclones. That one's a miss. So free throws thus far this season have been ugly for the Cyclones. And those woes continue tonight. Next one up. That one's good, so 1 for 2 that time. Back to a 19-point lead. Burton with it. Guarded by Hennard. Now takes it down the paint. Loses control. Hennard's going to get called for the body. And you saw Burton there just kind of get bumped by Hennard. So that is Hennard's first foul. And the team's first foul as well. St. Anne, the Cardinals will have the ball underneath their own basket. Gets it into Blake. Blake now on to Schaub. He turns around. Puts that one in. Cuts it back to 17. Witt with it. Back up to Scott. Connor Scott. Defense has stepped up here a little bit for St. Anne. Witt with it. Over to Hennard. Hennard now drives in the paint. Turn around. A nice layup by Austin Hennard. Stretches it back to 19. 53-34. 4.5 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Down low. Ball fires back to the middle. Kicked it out. Davis three-pointer. That one's good. And St. Anne starting to heat up here a little bit behind the three-point line. And Coach Shippard sees that. He called a timeout, 30-second timeout. And he just wants to slow things down a little bit, let the boys know that St. Anne's starting to feel it. And we don't want to let them get any run here. St. Anne has cut it to 16. And if you listen in closely, you're going to hear he just said no more easy stuff. They're getting too many easy looks. We need to buckle down on defense a little bit here. And that's exactly what you'll see the boys do. 53-37. 4:18 to go in quarter number 3. Cyclones lead by 16, but have been up by as many as 23. And St. Anne has brought this back to 16-point game. Cyclones have it. Hennard hands it back off to Scott, and Scott's going to bring it across the timeline. Guarded by Schaub. Hands off to Hennard. Hennard back. Tate with it now, top of the key. Hands off down to Baber at the baseline. Hennard cross court at the free throw line. Connor Scott, baseline three-pointer. That one off the iron, rebound St. Anne's. Davis is going to push it up. Down to number 24, into Burton. Burton misses a nice little bunny hopper, and Witt dives for it. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to stay St. Anne ball. St. Anne will have it underneath their own basket. Lobbed it into the middle to Burton. Fires down low to Shoth. That one an air ball miss. Rebound Scott. Scott brings it past the timeline. Double teamed, hands off to Wolf. Wolf, Hennard, this side, three-pointer long on the way, up and in. And Austin Hennard adds to his total with another three there to push it back to 19. 56-37. Cyclones up. St. Anne back with it. Davis. Shoth now in the corner. That one off. Rebound by Blake, put up and in, and quickly on this side, Cade Wolf back with it. Spin move, down on the block, right hand, and a nice move by Cade Wolf on the rebound for the Cyclones. Davis back with St. Anne now. Looks for Shoth on the right, hands it off to Pomeranski. Back to Shoth. Now he's going to take it right hand, guarded by Wolf. Back to Pomeranski, double teamed. Now off to Blake. Quick inside pass. No good. Rebound Cyclones. Cade Wolf has it on the near side. Picks up his dribble. Hands off to Baber. Out to Witt. Witt's looking for a shot. Didn't have it. Tipped away that time by number 4, Fred Burton. And it will be Cyclone ball here. So Blake's going to come out. And then you get the big horse coming in. Big number 42. Christian Stamp, and that's the kind of mark it will leave on you if he steps on you. He's a big boy. Hennard with it. Down low, Witt, ball fake into the left. Hennard, three-pointer from the top of the key. That's good! 61-39, back to a 22-point lead, and Hennard keeps adding. 2:03 remaining here in quarter number 3. Davis with it now. Ball fake to Shoth. Shoth on the left-hand side has it knocked around. Burton, three-pointer. That one off the mark. Rebound by Stamp. Down there, and they're going to get Connor Scott on the arm. And Scott is half the size of that man, and so doing everything he can. St. Anne's going to maintain it. Inbounds. Baber almost had a hand on it, but that one gets rebounded by St. Anne. Quick putback by Shoth. And quickly on this side, Baber, ball fake, three-point, now goes down baseline, jumper. That one no good, right at the bucket. And St. Anne the other way with it. 3 steps, that's going to be a travel. Nope, they're going to call it jump ball. An awkward jump ball, but better than a foul. And number 4, Fred Burton, come back. He'll pop out. Inbounds to Pomeranski. Turnaround shot. Rebound, Cade Wolf. Wolf's going to push it up. Scott with it. Doesn't have numbers. Needs to back it out and does. Baber. Now back to Wolf. Top of the key to Hennard. Man-to-man defense by St. Anne. Hennard's going to slow it up. Hands off to Scott. Fires down to Witt. Now Wolf down on the baseline. Spin move, cuts back in, hands off to Baber. Little floater, that one hard. Scott goes up with it, gets the rebound, and they're going to call a foul on Christian Stamp. And Connor Scott, or they're going to say was on the floor, so they'll have it underneath their own bucket. Scott does get it in. Baber with it. Down to Scott. Guarded by Stamp. Scott should take him to school right now. Doesn't do it. Brings it into the paint. Fouled. And he just, there is no low gear with him. As he charges in. Quick pass into Baber. Up to Witt. Wolf, left hand, down into the paint. Hey, the foul's going to get called on number 10, Pomeranski, for reaching in. Nope, they're going to call Stamp on that. That's going to be his 4th. So substitution coming back in. That should be Anthony Blake. Nope, that's going to be Deion Pfeiffer. Witt will throw it in for the Cyclones. Out to Wolf, now back up to Hennard. Down to Witt. Ball fake, brings it back up. Cross court to Scott. Baber with it now. Cross court, Witt setting up. Three-pointer on the way. That one good. And the threes are raining here at Cyclone home court. St. Anne with it down to the baseline. Little floater. They're going to say it's a charge. Hennard with some nice positioning under there. So Davis gets called with the charge. That's his 3rd foul. And the Cyclones have a 23-point lead, 64-41, with 13 seconds to go here in quarter number 3. Hennard back with it. Hands off to Wolf. Kicks it back out. Witt, three-pointer on the way. That one just long. Rebound Scott right there, tips it back up again. And so 2 misses for Connor Scott. And nerves and stress and pressure, they're getting to St. Anne a little bit. 64-41. That's how the 3rd quarter ends. A 23-point lead for your Cyclones. 1 more quarter to go. Cyclones looking to move to 4-1 overall. And looking forward to that rematch with Peoria Christian here in a couple of weeks. Trying to avenge that loss. That game actually against Peoria Christian, the only team that has beat the Cyclones this year, will be over at Peoria Christian. Now keep in mind that is a team that only beat the Cyclones by 3 points, and the Cyclones were not 100%. So if they were playing at the top of their game right now, this is a 5-0 squad. All right, so Caden Smith is checked into the game for Tate Witt. He'll be taking the ball out. Hennard's in there. Connor Scott, Cade Wolf, and Jackson Baber. Hennard ball fakes and gets himself open and takes the inbounds pass, setting up top of the key. Hands off to Wolf. Wolf fires around. Smith, three-pointer. That one off the mark. Rebound, Smith. He gets his own. Fires cross court, tipped, bad pass, stolen by Burton. And a block attempt by Scott. That's going to draw a foul. And Burton goes down hard.
Third on the line, shooting 2, Fred Burton.
And I, when you foul somebody hard like that, turn around, put your hand down, help that guy up. 64-41. 7 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Free throw by Burton. That one's up and in. Jack Clark's going to check in for Austin Hennard. That's probably the last we're going to see of Hennard tonight. Nice game by Austin. All around good player. Great player. Second free throw by Burton, up and good. 64-44, I believe, 43. Inbounds to Clark. Wolf with it. He's going to push the envelope. Far side. Nice ball handling there by Wolf. Hands off to Scott. Connor Scott takes it down. And he's going to be called for a charge.
Offensive foul called on Connor Scott. His third foul.
And it was a charge. Scott went a little ramrod in there. Watch. Make sure you don't get a technical called on you here. And that's going to be a charge the other direction as Davis pays it back and hits Scott. And if I am Coach Shippert here, I'm probably thinking about possibly Getting Scott out of there before temperatures rise too hot here. Scott brings it across the timeline. Left-hand dribble in. Nice pass. Great look down to Jackson Baber. 66-43. Nice look by Scott there. Burton with it. Floater in the lane. Rebound. St. Anne. That by number 50, Dion Pfeiffer. Brings it back to 21. Scott with it. No defense. Out to Smith. Three-pointer. That one off the mark. Rebound, Clark. Look at that. Jack Clark does not say quit on the play. Cleans up the scraps and puts it off the glass. 68-45. Ball fake now by St. Anne. Down low. Pomerance's going to rotate it back out. That's Schoth, actually. Hands it out to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer ball fakes, takes it left-handed. Now baseline three-pointer on the way for St. Anne. That one rattles out. Nice rebound there by Burton. Cyclones a little bit outmatched here underneath with this lineup. Scott with it, and it looks like Davis is going to get called. That's going to be his fourth foul. Nope, they're going to say number 10. That's Grant Pomeranski. So it'll be 1-1 here in bonus for Connor Scott. First one is good. He turns around and puts his hands up because he knows, as well as everybody else, the shooting woes from the free throw line that the Cyclones have had. Second one up and on its way. A 2 for 2 for Connor Scott. 70-47, a 23-point lead now. Davis brings it across the timeline for St. Anne. Cardinals now wanting to score and score in bunches. Burton with it. Could have been a travel, but not called. Pfeiffer in the lane, right-handed, just throws it high off the glass. And the Cyclones right back in it. Scott. Nice pick by Baber. Double team. Back to Baber. Looking out. Clark down low. Three-pointer by Wolf on the way. That one off the mark. Smith with the rebound. Jump ball called. And it's going to go to St. Anne. Jordan Davis brings it across the timeline. Ball fake to the left. Dribbles to the right. And Connor Scott is going to get called for a foul. That's going to be his fourth personal. And it looks like Caleb Lade is going to move over. Possibly come in and take over point guard duties here. Jordan Davis takes a shot, cuts it back to 20. So with 5:15 to go, the Cyclones lead by 20, 70-50. .70 ties their season high, and then Jackson Baber breaks it right there on the fast break. And great eyes by the Cyclones as they caught the flashing Baber. He's going to go line with an and one. Baber shot. That is good. So Cyclones improving their free throw shooting, at least in this game. Over 50% now on the night. 5:04. Clock's rolling. Three-pointer blocked by Caden Smith. In the lane. Ball gets kicked. Is rolling now. It's going to go out of bounds, and it will stay with St. Anne's. Cade Wolf is going to check in now for Connor Scott.
Replaces Connor Scott.
73-50. St. Anne with it. Burton tries a reverse. Not happening. Lade gets the rebound. So Wolf will bring it across the timeline. So Wolf and Lade up there now. Fires across. That one knocked away from Clark. Way ahead to Burton. Left hand turns around. Baber right there to clean it up. Wolf with it on the wing. Hands off. Nope. I thought he was going to hand off to Clark. Baber with it. Now back to Clark. Clark goes baseline. Kicks it back out. Laid. Three-pointer. That one just off the mark. Stolen by Baber. Takes it down himself. Right-hand layup up and in. And stretches it now to a 25-point lead for the Cyclones. In the lane, Davis with it. Kicks it out. Three-pointer good by Grant Pomeranski. Near side, Smith with it up and in. And I think the defense of St. Anne has given up here. 77-53 with 3.5 minutes to go. Davis turns around, left hand, tries to go off the glass and does get it to roll. Go back to a 22-point game. Clark brings it across the timeline. Has Lade on his right, but takes it down, kicks it back to Lade. Lade now in the lane, goes hard off the glass, gets his own rebound, and tries to dribble it away. And number 21 is going to get called for the foul, Anthony Blake. And Blake has been in and out of the game in foul trouble here. Just in the last couple of minutes. That's his second one here in 3 or 4 minutes. So Lade's going to go to the free throw line here with 2. And a 22-point advantage with 3:19 to go in the game. Lade's first shot is good. Lade lines up for a second. On its way. That one is off the mark. Rebound. And they're actually going to get Josh Kalmus for over the back. So you've got Baber, Lade, Kalmus, Clark, and Caden Smith in the game right now. Davis has at the top of the key, and Caleb Lade just was not looking. Davis goes right around him, has 2 shots, misses them both. St. Anne with the rebound. Davis back at the top of the key. Screen coming. Davis is going to take it again himself, and this is what we talked about halftime. Davis just wanting to do it all himself. And Kalmus reaches in and fouls Davis. So Davis is going to go to the line here for 2 shots. Cyclones up by 23. 2:59 remaining here in quarter number 4. First shot rolls off to the right. Davis will have another one here. That's 2 fouls on Kalmus. Second shot up and good. So the tallest guy out there right now, Will Toma, checks into the game. 3 minutes remaining. Clark with it. Brings it across the timeline. Hands off to Lade. Lade stops and pops from about 12 foot. And a nice decision there by Caleb just to stop and pop, and a good look. Makes it 80-56. Clark with it. Davis, in the paint. Hands off to Anthony Blake. And Blake puts it in and will go to the line for a 3-point play.
Foul on Josh Kalmus, his third foul. Team 8 at the line shooting 1.
Kalmus picks up foul number 3.
In for the Cardinals, number 24, Quentin Thompson. Also checking in for the Cardinals, number 5, Tyler Lemmy. At the line shooting 1, Anthony Blake.
So Anthony Blake has been to the line several times tonight. His and one bounces high and falls through. Toma brings the ball in to Smith. Caden Smith with it on the near side now. Top of the key to Caleb Lade. Swings it around. Kalmus with it. Ball fake, drives left-handed. Kicks it back out to Clark. And there's going to be a timeout here called by Shippert. And Coach Shippert's going to talk through the last 2.5 minutes here. 80-59. That's where we sit. And with the younger crowd in there, I think he wants just to make sure everything's dialed in and done the way that he wants it. It's a great learning experience for some of those guys that don't always get playing time down there. All right, 2.5 minutes to go. And this game 4 on the day. I'm yawning a bit. So I've got that now in the mix. Why not? 80-59. All right, Cyclones right back to it. Hope you enjoyed that mix. MC Hammer, back from 1996. And they're going to call late for a travel. I don't know how that was a travel. He might have drug a foot. I didn't see it. But when you're up by 21, those are the kind of calls that you're going to get. 2:22 remaining here in quarter number 4. 80-59, a 21-point lead for your Cyclones. St. Anne with it down low. Shot up, no good. Rebound, St. Anne popped up and in. That by Tyler Lamy. And now pressure put on by the Cardinals for the first time all day. Smith with it on the far side, double teamed. Laid, now back to Clark on the near side. Clark penetrates in, kicks it all the way down to Smith. Thought about a three, didn't take it. Swings it again. Clark with it. Loses it, hands it off to Kalmus. Back out to Toma, now top of the key to Smith. Near side Kalmus, now takes it baseline. In trouble, kicks it back out, Smith with it. Glad there's no shot clock, because we'd be past it. Clark takes it baseline, spins it back to the middle. Hands off to Kalmus. Kalmus out to Smith. Swings it across court to Clark. Penetrates, and out to Caleb Lade. Minute 17. They've used about a minute's worth of time right here, and St. Anne is not fouling. Clark with it, now takes it baseline. Has it knocked away, but keeps possession. Down on the ground, Toma with it, over to Lade. Back to Caden Smith and Kalmus. Nice rotation here by the guys, down to 55 seconds. Caleb Lade takes it in the lane, shot goes up, no good. Rebound St. Anne's, 80-61, 47 seconds. Lamy pushes it down, and they're going to call a double dribble by number 5, Tyler Lamy. 45 seconds to go here in the final quarter. Clark pushes it up into Kalmus, feeds over. Toma out to Caleb Lade, and another timeout called by Coach Shippert. And I think he wants to set up a designed play right here. And again, this is a great opportunity if you're a coach to really get some of the guys that don't get all the opportunities that the starting 5, 6, 7 players do to get out there and try to prove themselves. Work on some of the small things that they've been working on in practice as well. Coach knows that. 37 seconds. We're going to draw up a play right now that I want you to execute, and I want you to score, this person right here. So we're going to see how that plays out. 19-point lead. Cyclones easily cruising right now. JV won. JV improves their season record to 3-2. And varsity looking to move right now to 4-1 on this season. All right, Cyclones are going to have it underneath their own basket. Clark's going to have it to inbound. Kalmus, Toma, Lade, and Smith. And St. Anne checks back in. And they're going to dial right back into a timeout as they were just looking at the matchup. And I wanted to check it up a little bit. Start your music again, Dave Wolf. What do you got? Cheerleaders. All right. What's that? I would just hold on a second. Go for it. Now you can do it. Now you can go. I'll turn this one up. All right, Cyclones coming back out. I was waiting for this one. You've got to do it. All right, St. Anne on defense. Clark's going to throw it in. Same lineup, same setup. We're going to see if the Cyclones can get right back into it. And we're going to take another timeout. Holy cats. Start your music, Dave Wolf. Start your music up. Oh, man, they're doing it again. Good for you. All right, 37 seconds to go in this one. Icing on the cake. It's been 3 timeouts in a row. I've even sat down. I've got to stand up again. And here we go. Are you kidding me? Another timeout. It's 80-61. What in the world is going on? Just start the music. For 4 timeouts in a row, I don't even have anything to say about this. This is just pure insanity. It's a 19-point lead. I can understand wanting to make sure your defense is adjusted, but I guarantee they're still going to come out with like a one guy kind of floating in the middle and 4 guys on man. That's what St. Anne's going to come out as. I'm just not for sure what the advantage is here. For these guys to call 4 timeouts in a row. We'll see if Shipper just wants to have some fun. I think he's out of timeouts. If he had one, I would just call one just to do it. Can we play? Can we play? That's the game. 37 seconds, 19-point lead for the Cyclones. Ball in motion, finally inbounds Kalmus. Out to Clark. Back down low. Smith, three-pointer. That one rolls around and pops back out. 29 seconds. St. Anne back with it on the far side. And are you kidding me? Another timeout by St. Anne. What do you got? There you go. Here we go. It's DJ hour now because we're up by 19. Cyclones gonna move to 4-1. This 25 seconds takes the longest that I've seen any quarter take here. And the 5 that we've got out there: Caleb Lade, Josh Kalmus, Caden Smith, Jack Clark, and Will Toma. All right, St. Anne set to inbound it here. And Lamy will get it inbounds. Down to Blake. Blake turnaround jumper. That one off the mark. Rebound Caleb Lade. He's double teamed. They kick it out to Cade Smith. 16 seconds. Smith just walking it up. Under pressure now by Blake. Brings it out to Will Toma. Back top of the key, to Clark. Into the paint. Toma. Top of the key to Lade. 3, 2, 1, and that's going to be all she wrote. Your Cyclones victorious here at home. 80-61, improving their season record down to 4-1 against the Cardinals from St. Anne. I tell you what, the Cyclones really putting on a nice show from beyond the three-point line tonight and earned this victory pretty much in the entire first half. And their lights-out shooting from three-pointers has made the big difference in this game as they beat the Cardinals from St. Anne by 19, 80-61. All right, I think it's about time to clean this mess up that we've got up here. There's more wires and cables, and it's like a college game. And this is a high school basketball game on a Saturday afternoon. And Dave Wolf and I have pretty much taken control of 2 full tables up here with all this fun stuff. We had a lot of fun bringing it to you. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. Your final score, once again, your varsity 4-1 now on the season, 80-61, 19.